Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the royal family. And today I'm talking more about Harry's comments that have come out from his memoirs. I was surprised at the level of what appears to be bitterness and jealousy regarding William, and especially when Harry says that William's hair loss was alarming, and also saying that he was losing it at a faster rate than he was. Has Harry looked in the mirror lately? That sounds not just like jealousy, but real competitiveness, childish as well. And then when he says that William's resemblance to Diana was fading, my gosh, the jealousy is just right in your face. Harry must be so bitter because he's never resembled his mother in any way. In fact, for a long time, he didn't even resemble his father. But I suppose if he resembled anyone, it would have been some of the female members of the Spencer family, but not his mum, which he would have loved. Instead, his brother William, of whom he's already jealous, grew to look more and more like his beloved mother. So what if William has lost his hair or a large portion of his hair? It doesn't make him look less like his mother. He will always have her refined, aquiline good looks and sultry-looking eyes. I'm not going to describe Harry, but he was much better looking when his heart was less blackened, and before he became bitter, he did actually look quite handsome at times. He refers to William as his nemesis. Their mother would have been mortified if she knew this. One thing she told them was to always stick by each other. All Harry goes on about is his mother and her memory and doing everything for her, and yet the very thing that she made them promise, he is doing exactly the opposite. Harry said that William walked into Nottingham Cottage already fired up and punched Harry, knocked him to the ground. I don't know if Meghan has been feeding Harry the words to say, but all the details about landing on the dog's bowl, which caused it to break and hurt him with pieces sticking in his back, sounded very much like the descriptive spiel that we get from Meghan when something dramatic happens, like when she sank to her knees clutching her first child while losing her second, to whatever words from the film. I don't know where the smashing the dog bowl story came from, but I bet she found it from a movie. I think he thought that everybody would feel even more sorry for him if he said that William had knocked him over. But many of the comments I'm reading on social media show that people are thrilled that William did that and respect and like him even more. The timeline of her alleged miscarriage does not add up. It gives her a very small window of almost 2 months after a miscarriage in which to get pregnant, and that at over 40. And we all know it's a fantasy, as is her age. And the story about Harry scraping the soil with his bare hands to bury this miscarriage, this baby of theirs, is just, it's heartbreaking stuff, but it's so unbelievable, knowing all the rest of it that they say, and supposed to have been put in a takeaway box and buried under their tree in their Montecito garden. Well, if it really happened, then it's really sad. But I think along with everything else, everything is so dramatized and so bizarre that for a couple that wanted privacy, this is becoming absolutely ridiculous. There are things that you would keep private, but this is, as I said, a movie, and it's a really bad movie at that. Also, Harry said that William and Catherine approved his Nazi costume that he wore to a fancy dress party and told him to wear it. Well, it seems that William and Catherine were away on a trip at the time, so that's unlikely to be true. His bragging, well, maybe he was bragging about giving out the numbers of the people that he had allegedly killed during his time in Afghanistan was not wise, because his security was at risk when he was out there. And now that he's basically verbally taken responsibility to having taken out some of their people, then there's even more reason for him to be worried about his security when in the UK, or anywhere for that matter, now that he's owned up. And he has also put the people of the UK at risk, along with his peers, his peers in the military. The whole of the UK, he's put at risk now. I personally think that he didn't kill anyone apart from on his computer game. They might have let him think he had, but I heard that Harry's only action in Afghanistan was on his laptop. He also never qualified as a pilot. Yes, they're making it out that he was flying a helicopter like his brother, who, by the way, is an expert and a skilled pilot. No, they made it sound as if he was actually flying the Apache helicopters, but he never did. They said he was a gunner. He was a forward air controller. To be a gunner, you have to be a pilot. It gets worse. Now that he's revealed about his escapades and even referring to his conversation with his father, King Charles, about when Harry's certain appendage got frostbite when he was in Antarctica, you couldn't make this up. And all the talking intimately about an ex-girlfriend in a way that makes it sound as if it's Meghan writing the script. You know, who would think of Harry as a stallion, you know? People who were, and a wild stallion at that, people who were not bothered about them and indifferent to them are all now waking up to the fact that something is not right, that this has become completely insane. They are saying that the mistakes that Harry is making with what he's saying in this book are so bad that he's hung himself more than once over and over again, saying that he's planning to take down William and Catherine. And how is he actually going to do that? So he's admitted it. So if anything happens to them, it will all point to Harry. Numbering war victims in a boastful way is just not done in the military and is showing him as crazy. Another thing he has said in his book is how upset he was as a child because his father, and he refers to him as his older father, couldn't play ball with him because of a back injury. This is coming from the representative of the Invictus Games, the person who is sensitive to people's needs, particularly the disabled. To make matters worse, and to really make him look the worst that he could, it's another statement describing a woman who worked at his university, or college rather, in an unfavourable way, and describing her as she struggled to walk down the stairs due to a curvature problem in her back. This is the very thing that Eugenie overcame, and yet this describes Harry as standing at the bottom of the stairs, mocking and imitating this poor woman. This is supposed to be from the translated Spanish version of the book, Spare. So far it seems to be accurate, and people are in shock at what is in this book. It makes Harry look incredibly selfish and nasty, and absolutely ridiculous in thinking that this is okay to put in a book. Self-sabotage is way too mild a way to describe it. Some are saying that this is Meghan behind all of this, trying to make him look like a lunatic. Now it looks like the media is mocking Harry. How many more ridiculous stories will come out before people realise that there is much, much more going on, and it's a case of look here, not there. So as I said, it's a big movie, and it's becoming more of a, not so much a comedy, but science fiction. So let me have your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.